The most important teacher I had in my life, particularly as a youngin', was Bobby Kennedy. I grew up in a very political family, politically minded family in the 1950s and 1960s in the San Francisco Bay Area, and we talked politics around the dining room table all the time. And my family was so political, and this is true, that growing up I knew I was a Democrat before I knew I was Jewish. And I worked for Bobby Kennedy in 1967. I had sort of this awakening in my senior year in high school. I wanted to do something. I wanted to make a difference in the world. And Bobby Kennedy was my guy. His personal charisma, his conviction, his power, and his mission resonated very profoundly with me. And I went and saw him speak in June 1st, 1968 in the San Francisco Civic Auditorium. And I remember looking around the room with 2,000 other people and thinking, I want to change the world with Bobby Kennedy. 4 days later, he was assassinated. So his death and his inspiration was so profound that I resolved that I would go to college and go to law school and become a U.S. senator like Bobby Kennedy to change the world. And so it took me about a month at college at the University of California at Berkeley in 1968 to realize that politics was never going to heal the soul of the nation. I mean, it's important, but wasn't going to be my path. So I shifted to education, and I thought I'd write educational curriculum, and I would give kids tools that they would change the world, the tools to sort of navigate a very stressful life. So I'm going to school full-time, I'm working full-time, there's riots in the streets, I'm still motivated deeply by Bobby Kennedy, just I'm going to change the world in a different way. And someone told me about Transcendental Meditation. It did not resonate with me. I'm a skeptic. Meant nothing to me, but I was pretty stressed, so I learned to meditate. And one of my first thoughts after I learned was, oh, so this is the tool I'm going to teach those kids. So now 50 years later, I run a foundation, the David Lynch Foundation, which has brought this meditation to over 1 million kids in under-resourced schools all over the world for free. And as part of my work, I met Maria Shriver, Bobby Kennedy's niece. And I taught her to meditate. And afterwards, she heard about the work the foundation is doing. And she was very moved by the transforming, like change begins within, on a scalable level. Bring this to all children. And I remember clearly when she said, Bob, I would really like to work with you to change the world. And I thought, wow, 50 years later, I wanted to work with her uncle to change the world, and then 50 years earlier, I want to work with her uncle to change the world, and now I'm sitting with the great Maria Shriver, and she wants to work with me together to change the world. So Bobby Kennedy, my guy, my teacher.